as an actor in film and television. The issues are there as well. Um, I was shocked to see the numbers on screen at the beginning of the film at just how great that disparity is, how big the lack of representation is in the theater world. Um, it's just so important, and it's so disappointing that in the times that we are in the years that we are in, that this is still such a prevalent issue that we are fighting through. And it's opening up a very important conversation that needs to be had, because visual representation saves lives and it impacts lives in really meaningful, important ways, especially for young people growing up, watching their screens and to see themselves reflected in a character that has nuance and layers and um, a real 3D story that isn't just based around, the support of the best friend to the white lead, is so important. And I'm just so glad that this piece exists, and I really hope that it can get in front of audiences, but in particular people that can make a difference and put certain things into play that helps to correct this issue that is across all of the different art mediums, unfortunately. And yeah, this was a really wonderful piece that I could talk about it for hours. It's so close to my heart, but I'm very glad it exists, and it was done in such a beautiful, eloquent way that was very easy to digest, easy to understand, and promotes a lot of empathy um, for these performers, hopefully from the audience.
The structure, the form of it was really well done. Of course, the content is kind of eye opening and really important, and the way it's presented was really just smart. The way it starts gets us right into the meat of the matter, and then we have our little intro title, which was fantastically done. And then just hearing all the different accounts, I thought was just really powerful. Again, it's an important message. So for that reason alone, I'm glad this one exists. It wasn't something I, surprise, was really aware of or, even thought about. I have no business on stage, but it's definitely something worth looking further into. And I'm glad that some people are. And this documentary just presents all that in a really neat and strong way.
I live in Los Angeles, so there's always um, trouble with inclusion and things in entertainment. It's interesting to hear very specifically on this, very specifically about Broadway and the professional theater scene, though. A very One of the really interesting statements was the lady who said, there's all white casts. Maybe they were the best performers, but is that the case every single time? That was a that was a thinker. Um, so yeah, no, but everybody on camera was very great. Did a great job at stating their issues, and so it was nicely directed, nicely edited, nice use of music, very well paced. The point was made very clear to me, to any viewer here. It was and it was a very interesting and entertaining to watch at the same time, and made you think.
This was captivating and heartbreaking and educational, all wrapped in one. As people who work in film, we always thought theater was a little more inclusive than the film industry. And this documentary taught me that it's not. It's about the same or worse, which means we're all being lied to about each other's industries. This is very educational. I learned a lot and know that there's a lot of work to do to make the art in general more inclusive towards people. I loved how this film ended with saying to connect to the divine, which I think if more and more people did that, we would be better as a human race. We would be able to look at each other as human beings and not by the color of our skin. We'd be able to live equally and see things. So it's was very impactful to see the side of the story from people of color who are working in Broadway or trying to work in Broadway, show that they are struggling and that what is being put out in the media isn't true. For this reason, I think this documentary should be explored and sit out on a wide base. Show people the truth that what the media is saying is not what's really going on. That this is a fight that's worth having.
Subject matter of this film was so important. I enjoyed listening to the interviews and all of the valid points that everyone was bringing up and what their perspectives were. It was just one valid point after another after another. I thought that that was pretty amazing. Their frustration was really tangible. You could feel the frustration with what was happening, but also their hope was really tangible too. And that was kind of the takeaway for me, was that that hope is there and this can change and it will change. If enough people get involved, it will change.
They give us an emotive recount of what it means to be Black in the arts industry, specifically theater in Broadway. They show footage from the protest for social justice. I love this great scene where there is the dancer with the window in the background. It's just so poetic and emotional as well. The message is that representation is important to combat racism, and we need to protect and nourish all creators and artists for true change and sustainable change. It was a great job.
Really well shot. It's got really beautiful visuals. Just the camera work and the quality, it's really crisp and inviting visually. Amazing insights from everyone interviewed and really great and important conversation about racism within entertainment, specifically on Broadway. I think it's a really, really great documentary, really informative, really thought-provoking, and definitely a must-see.